As part of our commitment to Democracy 2010, ABC Action News has teamed up with Zogby, an international polling and marketing firm. Tonight, there is a brand new poll in the key races you will be deciding next week. Our Brendan McLaughlin has the numbers that show how the races for governor and Senate are changing in the final stretch.
The nail-biter is the governor's race. Democrat Alex Sink is pulling ahead of her rival, Rick Scott, but just barely. The race for U.S. Senate is not quite as close, but even the pollster admits it's too close to call.
The facts are the facts, and facts are stubborn things.
Charlie Crist could say the same about poll numbers. After 4 televised debates, Meek still trails, Charlie Crist struggles, and Rubio rules. The latest ABC Action News Zogby poll of likely Florida voters shows Republican Rubio extending his lead slightly at 39.6%. Democrat Meek is mired in third place with 18.1%, with Charlie Crist, the independent, at 33.3%. Meek's campaign echoed what the candidate said this week alongside President Bill Clinton in St. Petersburg.
Guess what? The only poll that I believe in is the one that comes in on November the 2nd, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
My opponent talks about how she can save $700 million. Now, that's Obama math.
The candidates for governor have been trading blows and trading leads in most polls, but our latest survey shows Democrat Alex Sink 2 points up from the last Zogby poll over Republican Rick Scott. As it stands, Rick Scott has 38.5% of the vote, behind Alex Sink with 43.1%. The nearly 11% undecided is heavily weighted with independent and young voters like these students participating in a straw poll at USF this week. Professor Susan McManus believes young independents can determine a close election.
Older people vote early, young people vote later, so it may be that some candidates get some good tips about how to reach younger voters in this last couple of weeks before the election.
But that may not be enough time to save Amendment 4, the proposed change to the Constitution that would require voter approval in order to change a community's comprehensive development plan. Support for Amendment 4 has plunged 11 points to 37.7%, far short of the 60% needed to pass.
Our poll also measured how much the voters like or dislike the candidates. Suffice it to say that the favorable ratings for all the major candidates in our survey went down since the last poll. The result, no doubt, of the drumbeat of negative advertising on all sides. I'm Brendan McLaughlin. Back to you.
Today, a debate between the 3 candidates for U.S. Senate showed us just how high tensions are. As expected, topics like the economy, jobs, and illegal immigration were discussed.
That's why I'm running as an independent, is to give the people of Florida a choice.
Let me just say this. Let me say this. All right, we know why the governor's running as an independent, because he couldn't beat Rubio, okay?
A friendly, personal jab may add a little seasoning to a debate, but as we head into an election, substance is what we need to help us decide who is the top choice for this job. And with unemployment running at 11.9%, foreclosure rates the second highest in the country, jobs and the economy for most voters are at the center of this election. So here on this soundstage, how did our candidates sound off on our hurting economy? Independent Charlie Crist emphasized that working together, as he did with the president with the Recovery Act, will help us pull out of it.
I had to be practical. I had to be pragmatic. I couldn't be extreme. I couldn't be ideological. I had to be prudent for the people of Florida. We utilize those monies in order to stem the tide in losing jobs.
Republican Rubio trumpeted his belief a strong economy comes when government allows the private sector room to breathe.
The job creators, the people who start businesses or expand existing businesses, they will tell you that the reason why they're not hiring people next year is because they are afraid of what next year is going to mean in terms of taxes, regulation, and the health care bill.
For Democrat Meek, higher taxes for the wealthy may help slow our economic tumble.
The middle class has carried this recession on their back like no one else. And I think it's very, very important that we continue to give them extra attention. They deserve it.
But still, as we work our way through this political feed bag, a little salt doesn't hurt to give things a little flavor.
I've never had a heckler at the debate. I've always had him in the audience.
No.
What I'd like
Today's debate was held at USF. The university will be the setting for another big debate scheduled for tomorrow. Gubernatorial candidates Alex Sink and Rick Scott will meet at 7 in the evening. The entire event, like this one, will air live on CNN. And remember, for up-to-the-minute Democracy 2010 coverage, we have a special section set up on our website. You can just head to abcactionnews.com. facebook.com/politics.